What is machine learning? Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence that is mainly concerned with the development of algorithms which allows a computer to learn from the data and past experiences on their own. That is, the machine learning is a kind of artificial intelligence. It trained with the past experience and the past data. Based on that, it's going to give a predicted output. The term machine learning was first introduced by the Arthur Samuel in 1959. Machine learning enables a machine to automatically learn from the data, improve performance from experiences, and predict the things without being explicitly programmed. That is, in the machine learning, without the programming concept, the machine is going to learn the past experiences as well as from the past data, and based on the data and experiences, is going to predict the output. That is called machine learning. A machine has the ability to learn if it can improve its performance by gaining more data. That is, if you give the more data, the performance also can improve by the machine learning. With the help of sample historical data, which is known as training data, machine learning algorithms build a mathematical model that helps in making predictions or decision without being explicitly programmed. That is, with the help of training data set, it's going to create a mathematical model, and the mathematical model will predict the result. Machine learning brings computer science and statistics together for creating model. That is, we are going to use the concept of computer science as well as with the concept of statistics. Statistics means a huge collection of data. With the help of huge collection of past data, the computer science is going to create a machine going to think. That is called machine learning. Machine learning constructs or uses the algorithm that learn from historical data. The more we will provide the information, the higher will be the performance. If you train the machine with the more data, the accuracy will be more. That is called accuracy can increased with the help of more data. Next, we are going to discuss about how does machine learning work. So the figure shows the uh, working principles of machine learning. That is, first, for the machine learning algorithm, we are going to give the past input data. That is, past input data means the data is already existing data. That is input past data. With the help of the input past data, we are going to train the machine learning algorithm. Then the algorithm is trained with the data. Then it builds the logical models. The logical model is trained with the help of a past data, and also we can give the new data for predict the better result. Then in the final, the algorithm will give the predicted result based on the past experience data as well as the new data. It will give the accurate of result. This is the concept of machine learning work. The accuracy of predicted output depends upon the amount of data, as the huge amount of data helps to build a better model. The accuracy is mainly depends on the data. If you give the more data, we will predict the more accurate result. Suppose we have a complex problem where we need to perform some predictions. So instead of writing a code for it, we just feed a data to the genetic algorithm. With the help of this algorithm, machine build a logic as per the data and predict the output. Machine learning has changed our way of thinking about the problem. Then, features of machine learning. Machine learning uses data to detect various patterns in a given data set. That is, with the help of the previous data, it predicts various patterns for the predicted output. It can learn from past data and improve the performance automatically. The next feature is it is a data driven technology. Data driven technology means based on the previous data only, it's going to drive, that is going to create a output. Then machine learning is much similar to data mining, as it also deals with the huge amount of data. Like data mining is a concept of handling the huge amount of data. Same like machine learning also going to handle the huge amount of data. From the huge amount of data only, it's going to predict the future output. That is the features of machine learning. Next, need for machine learning. Machine learning is used in many fields nowadays. That is, day by day, the need of the machine learning increasing. The reason behind the need of machine learning is that is the human is not capable to predict the result with the help of huge amount of data. Certainly, because the prediction, the huge amount of data is very difficult for the human being. Suppose if you give the training with the more amount of data to the machine analyze the data automatically, and depends upon the previous that is past experience, it automatically create the predicted output. That is the main aim of the machine learning. The performance of the machine learning algorithm depends on the amount of data, and with the help of machine learning, we can save both time and money. Machine learning is used in self-driving cars. That is, in nowadays, without driver, the car can without driver we can drive the car. That is called machine learning concept. Then cyber fraud detection. Cyber fraud detection means it analyze the uh, detection of banking principles. That is, if any of the thing is went wrong, it can automatically detect, because it observes the past experience. If there is any deviation in the past experience, it automatically detect the particular operation is the fraud operations. Like face recognition. Face recognition concept means already we are training the algorithm with the face. That is, some of the faces are already recognized like image processing. Based on the face recognition, it identify the right person. Then friend suggestion by Facebook. So these are the some of the examples of machine learning. Nowadays, Netflix and Amazon also using the machine learning technology, and it use the huge amount of data to analyze the user interest and recommended the product accordingly. That is, based on the user interest and the way of using the product, they recommend the some of the supplementary product for their buying. That is the concept of need of machine learning. Some of the important key points show the importance of machine learning: rapid increment in the production of data, solving complex problems which are difficult for a human, decision making in various sectors including finance, finding hidden patterns and extracting useful information. These are some of the important areas which the machine learning focusing. Next, we are going to discuss about the types of machine learning. Machine learnings are generally classified into three types: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning. Supervised learning means under the supervision, it's working. That is, algorithm is working with the help of supervision concept. That is, the teacher is instructing the student to study. That is called supervised learning. The next one is unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning means the algorithm itself trained by the data. That is, no need to supervise here. That is, in this concept, the student is study by themselves without the teacher. That is the concept of unsupervised learning. The third one is the reinforcement learning. The reinforcement learning means based on the feedback and the reward and the fine, the algorithm is automatically tuning by itself. Next, we will discuss one by one. The first one is a supervised learning. The supervised learning is based on supervision concept. Supervised learning is a type of machine learning method in which we provide sample labeled data to the machine learning system in order to train it. And on that basis, it predicts the output. That is, we are going to give the label data. Label data means already the data is categorized, classified, and analyzed. So analyzed and clear data is given to the algorithm. So based on that algorithm, based on the data, the algorithm is going to predict the output. The system creates a model using label data to understand the data set and learn about each data. Once the training and the processing are done, then we test the model by providing a sample data to check whether it is preceding the exact output or not. That is, in this algorithm, that is supervised algorithm, supervised learning process, we are giving both the input as well as the output. That is, we are going to give the input. Based on the input, we are going to map the output, whether we will receive the exact output or not. The aim of the supervised learning algorithm is to find a mapping functions to map the input variable x with output variable y. That is, in the supervised learning, we are going to give the output also. That is, we are going to match whether the input is create the expected output or not. That is the concept of supervised learning. The goal of supervised learning is to map the input data with the output data. The supervised learning is based on supervision, and it is the same as when a student learns things in the supervision of the teacher. The example of supervised learning is spam filtering. Supervised learning can be grouped further in two categories of algorithms: classifications and regression. Next, how supervised learning works. Here, uh, that is, we are going to give the labels uh, to the modeling training. Labeling means here the hexagon shape, square shapes, and triangle shapes are classified based on the properties of the shapes. For example, if the given shapes are four sides, all the sides are equal, then it will consider as the square. If the given shapes are three sides, then it will be labeled as a triangle. If the given shapes has six equal sides, then it is labeled as a hexagon. That is, in the supervised learning, the mixed amount of shapes are classified into corresponding shapes, and then only label that the shapes are called as label data. Then we are going to give the label data to the model training. Then it will give the prediction result. The prediction result is working based on the test data. That is, we are going to give some of the input data. Based on the input data, it's going to predict the result. If it predicts the result, that result is matched with the existing or expecting output. That is called supervised learning. Steps involved in supervised learning. First, determine the types of training data set. Then collect, gather the label training set. First, it determines the types of the training data set. That is what kind of data it needs to train. That is first step. Next, based on the requirements, it collect or gather the label data training set from the various data resources. Then split the training data set into training data set, test data set, and validate data set. Next, they determine the input features of the training data set, which should have the enough knowledge so that the model can accurately predict the output. That is, we need to train the data set according to the features. Then only it can give the accurate result. Determine the suitable algorithm for the model, such as support vector machines, decision tree, etc. That is, next we need to choose the right decision method, because in each and every learning methods we have so many algorithms. We need to choose the right decision algorithm or vector machine algorithm. Then finally execute the algorithm on the training data set. Then evaluate the result of the algorithm. If the model predicts the correct output, which means our model is accurate. Otherwise, we need to refine the model for the next step. Types of supervised learning. There are two types of supervised learning. One is regression, another one is a classifications. Actually, the regression is mainly working with the principles of relationship between the input variable and the output variable. That is, the output variable is purely depends on the input variable. Some of the examples of relationships are weather forecasting. Weather forecasting is mainly depends on the particular day temperature, humidity, rain. That is based on the input only, it's going to create the output. Below are some of the examples of regression algorithms: linear regression algorithms, regression trees, non-linear regressions, and Bayesian linear regressions. These are some of the algorithms under the supervised learning. The next method under the supervised learning is classifications. That is, in the classification, instead of using the relationship, here it's going to use the decision making principles, like whether it is yes or no, or male or female, true or false. So based on the category, it's going to classify the data sets. Some of the examples under the classifications are swarm filtering, random forest method, decision tree algorithm, logistic regression, and support vector missions. Advantages of supervised learning. With the help of supervised learning, the model can predict the output on the basis of prior experience. That is, we can easily predict the result with the help of previous experience. In supervised learning, we can have an exact idea about the class of objects. That is, in the supervised learning, already we have an existing knowledge about the particular things, as well as we can easily predict the output. In supervised learning model helps us to solve various real world problems, such as fraud detections, spam filtering, etc. Like the fraud detection means already the existing transactions are trained by the model. Then if there is any deviation in the existing transactions, it can easily predict the fraud detections. That is some of the advantages of supervised learning. The next one is the disadvantages of supervised learning. The supervised learning is not suitable for handling the complex data, because the complex data means it's very difficult to train the data. That is, the algorithm itself trained. Supervised learning cannot predict the correct output if the test data is different from the trained data set, because sometimes if the trained data set is not matched with the real time data, that time the supervised learning is not suitable for that scenario. Training required lots of computation times. Supervised learning, we need enough knowledge about the class of objects. These are some of the